They studied our equations. They dissected our satellites. They intercepted our transmissions and laughed. In their colossal war chamber orbiting a dying star, the high strategists of the Dominion declared humanity predictable. Bound by gravity, limited by light, shackled by entropy. They were wrong, because while they mocked our science, we were rewriting the laws they trusted. Stay with me until the end, because what happened next didn't just win a war. It reshaped reality itself. And if stories of human resilience, cosmic rebellion, and mind-bending science ignite your imagination, make sure to follow and share. Because this is only the beginning. The Dominion did not conquer worlds through chaos. They conquered through certainty. For millennia, their war council had operated under one sacred principle: the laws are absolute. Gravity binds. Time flows forward. Energy is conserved. Nothing moves faster than light. Their empire spanned hundreds of star systems, not because they were brutal, though they were, but because they were precise. Their science was sacred doctrine. Their calculations never failed. When their probes first reached Earth, they cataloged us with clinical amusement, fossil fuel dependency, fragile biosphere, political division, primitive propulsion. We were classified as Type 0.72, pre-threshold species. Not a threat. Not yet. But humanity has always had a habit of being underestimated. In the Dominion War Chamber, a vast crystalline sphere suspended in vacuum, our data projections hovered like insects trapped in amber. The strategist prime extended a limb of living alloy toward a holographic display of human research papers. Observe, it intoned, voice vibrating through the chamber. They attempt quantum unification. They still debate gravity. Laughter rippled through the council. They rely on chemical rockets. They fracture their own climate. They measure the cosmos with radio waves. Their verdict was unanimous. Humanity would be assimilated within 12 standard cycles. Their fleets would arrive. Their orbital platforms would neutralize our satellites. Their gravity lances would fracture resistance. The laws of physics guaranteed their victory. After all, you cannot bend what is absolute. But they were watching the wrong laboratories. While public agencies argued over budgets, while politicians debated climate treaties, deep beneath Antarctic ice, humanity had built something unregistered, not a weapon. Not at first. It was called Project Helix Paradox. It began as a desperate collaboration between rival nations after astronomers detected Dominion scout vessels observing our solar system from the Kuiper Belt. Governments panicked. Then something extraordinary happened. They cooperated. The world's greatest physicists, quantum field theorists, gravitational mathematicians, dark energy specialists, were brought together under a single directive: find the crack in the laws. Because humanity's greatest strength was not resources. It was doubt. We never truly believed the laws were absolute. We believed they were models. And models can be revised. It started with an anomaly. A microsecond inconsistency in gravitational wave data. Tiny. Dismissible. Except Dr. Elara Vance refused to dismiss it. She proposed a radical theory: gravity wasn't a fundamental force. It was an emergent artifact of higher, dimensional tension. Meaning, under the right conditions, it could be retuned. Her peers called it speculative. The Dominion would have called it heresy. But Helix Paradox had one rule: no idea was too dangerous to test. Years passed in secrecy. Particle accelerators were modified. Neutrino arrays were inverted. Vacuum energy fluctuations were amplified. And then, in a chamber shielded by superconducting lattices, they did it. For 0.003 seconds, they altered local gravitational constants. Mass weighed less. Time dilated unpredictably. The impossible flickered into existence. They had bent a law. The Dominion did not wait. Their fleets entered the solar system in perfect geometric formation. Gravity lances deployed. Communication arrays jammed. Orbital supremacy established within hours. Their message to Earth was simple: submit. Your science confines you. They were confident. They calculated resistance at 3.7% probability of meaningful disruption. They were precise. They were wrong. When the first Dominion dreadnought aligned its gravity lance toward Earth's moon, a warning shot. Project Helix paradox activated. Across hidden facilities worldwide, synchronized reactors ignited. Quantum anchors locked into position. And Earth's gravitational constant shifted. Not everywhere. Just locally. Just strategically. The dreadnought's targeting algorithms recalculated in real time. But the numbers refused to stabilize. The moon's mass fluctuated. Orbital trajectories jittered. Inertial dampeners screamed in overload. The gravity lance misfired. Instead of shattering lunar rock, it tore open a micro-fold in space, swallowing 3 Dominion escort ships. The War Council watched in stunned silence. That was impossible. The laws did not permit miscalculation. Unless the laws were no longer constant. The Dominion recalibrated. If gravity was unstable, they would rely on relativity. Nothing moves faster than light. Their reinforcements would arrive in exactly 6.2 hours. Predictable. Certain. But humanity had been working on something else. If gravity was emergent, what about space-time curvature itself? Dr. Vance's team theorized that space could be stretched asymmetrically. Not propulsion, not warp, but localized metric manipulation. The Dominion fleet prepared for synchronized assault. At precisely 6.2 hours, reinforcements should have dropped from faster than light corridors at the edge of Mars' orbit. Instead, they emerged inside Jupiter's magnetosphere, 3 light minutes off target, strategic chaos, because for 0.8 seconds, humanity had altered the shape of space, not broken relativity, bent it. In their crystalline chamber, the Dominion strategists argued for the first time in recorded history. Their constants are fluctuating. That violates thermodynamic stability. It cannot be sustained. Their doctrine was unraveling, because if constants can change, then predictions collapse. And if predictions collapse, so does dominance. The strategist prime issued a command unheard of in millennia. Engage adaptive uncertainty protocols. They were improvising. Humanity had forced a species built on certainty to confront doubt. The Dominion's ultimate weapon was entropy acceleration. They could locally increase thermodynamic decay, aging infrastructure in seconds. They deployed it over Earth's Pacific defense grid. Metal corroded. Circuits failed. Satellites decayed. Victory seemed inevitable again, but Helix paradox had one final revelation. Entropy is statistical, probability-based, and probability can be biased. Using quantum vacuum polarization, humanity amplified improbability fields. In selected regions, decay slowed instead of accelerating. Entropy ran backward in microdomains. Damaged systems self-corrected. Broken circuits reassembled. The Dominion weapon destabilized, feeding on its own reversed gradients. Their entropy engine imploded. The War Council stared at data streams that defied their sacred axioms. Humanity had not broken thermodynamics. They had gamed its odds. Cornered. The Dominion deployed their last resort singularity seeding. A controlled black hole aimed at Earth. No civilization had survived it. No equation allowed escape. As the singularity formed near lunar orbit, tidal forces began tearing satellites apart. Project Helix paradox initiated Protocol Omega. Every facility worldwide synchronized. Every reactor pushed beyond safe limits. Dr. Vance gave the final command. They didn't try to destroy the black hole. They changed the value of Planck's constant locally. Just enough. Quantum pressure surged. Hawking radiation spiked. The singularity evaporated faster than it formed. A black hole undone by a subtle tweak to reality's smallest scale. The Dominion fleet went silent. Their ultimate certainty evaporated. Humanity transmitted a single signal to the Dominion War Council. Not a threat. Not a boast. A theorem. A proof demonstrating variable constants under emergent dimensional tension. The final line read, "The laws you trust are approximations." Silence echoed across the Dominion Empire. For the first time in their history, they faced a civilization that treated physics not as doctrine, but as dialogue. The Dominion withdrew, not in defeat, in fear, because conquest requires prediction, and you cannot conquer what you cannot calculate. Earth emerged scarred but unified. Project Helix Paradox was declassified, not as a weapon, but as a warning. The universe is not fixed, it is negotiable. Humanity's greatest weapon was never force. It was imagination armed with mathematics, because it mirrors something deeply human. Every empire in history believed its systems were permanent. Every dominant power trusted its rules. But progress belongs to those who question the rules. Those who search for cracks. Those who dare to bend what others worship. The Dominion believed certainty was strength. Humanity proved that uncertainty is power. And in doing so, we didn't just win a war. We redefined what was possible. If this story ignited your imagination, if it reminded you that limits are often illusions, then share it with someone who believes in breaking boundaries. Follow for more epic, mind-expanding science fiction that challenges reality itself. Because the next story might go even further. And remember, they mocked our science. We bent their universe. And we're just getting started.